Hey, comic book fans, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. And fans, you're back with me, Mike Spider Slayer, getting ready to do that all important comic book review so you, the fans, can make a decision on what comic books to buy. And today, fans, we're talking about The Walking Dead issue number 143, otherwise known as a Union. Here on the cover, we get to see a bunch of, you get to see, it looks like Lydia and Carl there with a bunch of whisperers. That's what's on the cover. Book is written by Robert Kirkman, and obviously the art is done by Charlie Adlard. Gray tones are done by Cliff Rathburn. Art is always very consistent when it comes to The Walking Dead. It never changes. I think Cliff Rathburn and Charlie Adler have done a really wonderful job with this book. Not much zombie action in here, but there's good facial expressions in this book. As you can see, Rick there and Andrea and Dante coming across a whisperer. You have a good emotional moment here with Ezekiel on being told of how Michonne kind of feels for him. There's like a glistening in his eyes when you read the issue, which is really cool. And there's just a lot of suspense and good emotional moments and character interactions in this book that make it an enjoyable read in this particular issue. So definitely go out and buy this one. This is a good book. Here's a particular issue picture of Carl here talking with his father. So definitely go out and buy this book. Now, if you haven't read the book, I'm going to be giving some spoilers. So if you guys want to come back, read your issue, and then see my thoughts and give me your opinions below on the story, and then go ahead and do that, because now I'm going to talk about some spoilers here. All right, so what was this story about? What did I think? What was my emotions throughout this issue? I'll tell you. The thing is, in this issue is we wind up last seeing Alpha kind of integrate herself within Alexandria and the fair and trying to get to know their people and things like that on how their work. She's like examining their whole world, you know. Again, you get good character interactions with Ezekiel talking to Pete, who is like the captain of the boat, and Pete talks to Ezekiel and saying how she really still cares for Ezekiel and why she's not drawing close to him, we're not sure, but he says, go after her, man. Don't let her go, you know. So good character moments there. As the issue progresses, you get to see the group that's searching for Carl come across the Whisperer. And what's going on is the Whisperers always tend to have kind of like this upper hand. Every time Rick's like, bring me to him, you guys are going to die, or you're going to do this. Every time they get a threaten, the Whisperers are not afraid. They're like, we're just going to grab you. You're in no position to stop us, because they always seem to outnumber Rick and his people. So what happens through this particular issue is we see Carl and his dad wind up getting reunited. And Carl's like, whoa, Dad, he's like, you didn't have to come here. He's like, I had things taken care of. He's like, I was here to get Lydia. I care about her. I want her to come back. And we get to see a huge emotional moment between Carl and his father. And Carl explains to his father that everyone looks at Carl as something strange and something different. And they look at him in a different way. And Lydia, he cares so much for Lydia that like she gets who he is. And so for that, he really cares about her, and he really has this conversation with his father. And he's like basically not going to leave until he gets Lydia. So what happens is, being that Rick is always threatening these Whisperers and puts them in this weird position, the Whisperers have this crazy Alpha, the leader of the Whisperers, has this moment with Rick, and you feel the tension and the suspense building as you're reading this issue, and takes Rick for a walk and says, basically, it looks like is giving him one more chance. I'm not sure, but she basically threatens him and says, I will destroy everything that you've created because you constantly are threatening me. And she's like, believe me, I don't want to kill you, but I will do this. And if Rick doesn't if Rick doesn't act properly, I have a feeling that we're going to see this. And this is a huge spoiler. So if you guys don't want to see this page, please fast forward if you've seen the review up until this point. Okay, the Whisperers have somehow mounted the biggest zombie herd in Walking Dead history. And this is probably why you haven't seen too many zombies lately, because they have herded all of these zombies. And Alpha makes that statement there saying, I want you to see that when I tell you that I will destroy everything you've built in this world, everyone you love, everything you know. She goes, that is not an empty threat. So it took her and him to go for this walk to visualize what she can do to everything that he's built. Now that's a threat. That is crazy, because that will destroy everything in the community that he has built. So now all of a sudden these Whisperers become a huge threat to Rick's group. Great issue. I thought that this had good character interactions, whether it was Pete and Ezekiel talking about Michonne, Eugene and Rosita. They have a moment talking about, the future baby. You get to see the good character moments, the tension building between Alpha and Rick, and then you get to see that good father-son moment, and Carl really coming into his own, really becoming that adult and standing up to his father and saying, this is who I am, and accept me for who I am, and, she gets it. Why can't everybody else? So I really loved all that and everything that the issue had in it. Now, what's going to happen in the future? Dude, I have no idea what's going to happen. Will these things be unleashed? I don't know. But they definitely pose a real threat, and great issue. So I really enjoyed this one. It seems like, in this issue I was at the at the edge of my seat, just waiting to see what that cliffhanger was going to be, and I was just like, oh wow, this is great. So great stuff. I really enjoyed this book. It always seems like 5 minutes go by when I read this particular issues of Walking Dead. So I'm gonna give this one 4 3/4 out of 5 stars. This was a really good issue for me because it created that suspense. So, guys, tell me in the comments below what you thought of The Walking Dead issue number 143, otherwise known as A Union. And fans, as always, thank you for watching Comic Book Corner 2.0. And until that next comic book review, fans, this is Mike Spider Slayer signing off. Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon.